Hold on to your hats. We're going to crochet some hip-hop headwear, including this visor that's so easy it only requires 2 basic stitches, and this cold weather cap that looks hot on the slopes or on the street. Plus, I'll show you my special tip for customizing your crochet hooks so they're easier to use. That's all coming up on Uncommon Threads. Whitlock, and I'm crocheting today with members of the group Yarn Daughters. Now, they formed their group in New York and now they're split. There's one in New York and one in Atlanta, but you guys still get together and you crochet and you work on designs together, and you've even written a book all about crocheted hats.
Yes, it's 20 hat patterns. Some of my favorite hat patterns and designs. I love making hats. They're quick and simple.
And Kissa, you've been crocheting for a really long time. You were quite small when you learned.
Yeah, I learned at 11, but I picked it back up when I was, 6 years ago, actually.
So when you guys got together, it was just instant. You were like, we both crochet.
Yeah, definitely. As a crochet, you pick up tips from each other, and so Yarn Daughters is, we're daughters of the yarn.
And the very first hat we're going to work on today is this one. It's called Visor, and it's very cool. And it only has 2 stitches, so we're going to rate it E for easy. For this project, you'll need a size F and a size G crochet hook and 2 skeins of worsted weight yarn. Now, we're using this fabulous camo yarn. I love it. It's very, very
isn't
cool.
It cute?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, how do we get started with the visor? We're going to work the band first, right?
Yes.
So we're starting off with a slip knot, and everybody has a different technique. Show me yours.
Thank you. Pretty much I just take the yarn, put it on top.
Make a loop.
Yep. Put my needle here, and I kind of grab it and,
and pull it through. Oh, I like that technique.
Yep,
That's
and you
cool.
just kind of pull it really close, and I just do 10 chain stitch.
And the chain stitch is yarn over and pull through. And now if we have a look at our visor here, we're starting at the bottom of the band and we're working all the way up just in a rectangle shape.
Right now we're going to do a chain stitch, and we're going to turn our work around to give that ribbon effect. And we go into the back loop. So it's half double crochet into the second stitch, back loop only. So we go right here, yarn over, pull through. We have 3 loops, yarn over, and you pull through, and you have just 1 yarn on a chain, on a needle, and then you continue that all the way through up to 55 rows. So I'm just finishing off this row here. This is the last row.
Let's have a look at that. So you can really see that ribbing. It looks fantastic, and I love this camouflage yarn. It's so cool. Now, at this stage, we're going to work the next colour, which is the border, which goes all the way around the outside in a single crochet row. And the single crochet is shorter than the half double crochet.
Pretty much you just insert your needle into your work. It's yarn over, you pull through, you have 2, yarn over, you pull through those 2. And you just continue all the way till you reach the end.
And for the complete pattern for this visor, just log on to the website. It's DIYnetwork.com. Okay, so Kissa, you've worked all the way along your border down the side, and we're now at the corner, and you have a little trick for this.
Yes, pretty much I work 2 single crochet in the corners only.
So you're working 2 single crochet into the same stitch, just in the corner, and then as you go across, you work the single crochet, 1 single crochet into each stitch.
The only time you use the single crochet in the same stitch is only on the corners, and that's to flatten your work. Okay, I'm just going to finish my last 2 single crochets, and when I get to the end, I just slip stitch into my last stitch here.
So you pop the hook through, and yarn over, and just pull all the way through.
Yes.
And that's your slip stitch.
Yes, and then you fasten off by cutting it, and it's pulling the yarn through.
So that's the band complete. Just show me how that looks.
So it has that ribbon effect with the single crochet, edging.
So now we're going to work the bib, and to make the bib we're using 2 strands of yarn from the same skein.
So there's this part right here that comes from the middle, and then there's the end right here. So you're going to grab that, and you're going to pretty much pull enough yarn for you to work with.
So you're pulling from both sides.
And then you change your hook.
So you're switching from the size F crochet hook to the size G?
Yes. And then we count 32 stitches into our work, and then we just insert our needle, and we do single crochet into that stitch.
So grab both strands of the yarn.
This is the reason why you need a larger hook, so you could grab both of them. So then this is 1 stitch, this is another stitch, single crochet, and then the 3rd stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet into that one stitch.
So that's an increase. So on every third stitch, you're going to increase. And then you repeat in that same manner all the way along the row.
Exactly. And so we have 22 stitches. So now I'm at the end of the first row, and we're going to do single crochet in this row. That's one chain.
So you're turning chain, chain one.
And then we turn our work. And then we're going to work in a back loop only.
Okay.
So, and that gives you a lift so that the bib doesn't like come down on your face. It has a little, you know, lift on there. So we insert in a back loop only.
So looking at the V that's on the top of your previous row, you're going to go into the back one.
And we just single crochet.
And you can see if I turn this over, there's a ridge right there all the way along. And that's what's going to give it the lift. Now, the next row, as we come along, we're going to start working into the side, into the edging. The bib is going to start to come out a little bit further, so we're starting to shape it into this nice semicircular shape.
So we're going to half double crochet into our next stitch. Then the next stitch after that is a slip stitch. So we're going to slip stitch one and then slip stitch.
And slip stitch is just?
Yeah, you just insert your needle and then you pull
all the way through.
Yes.
So you've gone from the single crochet to a half double, which is slightly taller, to bring it up to that level, and then you're going down to the slip stitch, which is shorter. So that's how you're going from a tall stitch down to a small stitch, and that's how you shape with crochet. Now on the succeeding rows, you're not going to work into the back stitch. You're only doing that for one row. That's that one row to give the bib some lift, and then from there on you're working into both loops.
Yes.
Now I am going to add my new color. So I just kind of pulled, there was 2 stitches here, and I just kind of pulled that through, which is the slip stitch, actually.
So now you're going to turn around and start working your single crochet just like before, all the way around the bib.
Yeah, so you turn your work around, and you pretty much chain one, and you single crochet all the way around your work. So
just like you did with the band.
Yes,
exactly.
So you're at the end of your edging, and this is the hat, you know, all the crocheting complete. Just show me how you finish off with the yellow.
So we do, again, that half double crochet, then we do that slip stitch, and then we measure it and to make sure, you know, it's the right size, and then we add the snaps.
Okay, and the snaps are right here on the end, and you're actually going to sew those. So with all 4 snaps complete, this is our visor. Do you want to give it a go?
Sure. How does my bib look?
Looks good.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's a puff stitch? We'll show you as we crochet this hot little cold weather hat next. The group Yarn Daughters are here, and we're making really cool hats, including this one, which I love. It's a beanie and a scarf in one, 2 for the price of 1. And we're making it with lots of different coloured yarns, and it's called Cool Rock Ski. Now, Afia, it's your design. Tell me how you got the name.
Well, a lot of the names in my book, Get Your Crochet On, are based off of hip-hop, reggae, and R&B. So this one came from a hip-hop group.
Very cool. Now, we're starting off right at the top with the orange yarn, and this is a little bit of a complicated design. There's some interesting patterns in here, so we're rating it I for intermediate, but even if you're an advanced beginner, totally give it a go. Now, Afia, this is a really basic shape of any beanie that you're starting off with, but the stitch pattern is very different, and it's called the puff stitch.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
is.
show me how we get started.
Okay, first you make your slip stitch by holding a loop, bringing your yarn around, and going through the second loop that you just made.
Okay.
And just pull it so it's secure. Okay, put your loop on your hook. Then you chain 5. By chaining, you yarn over and pull through. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Super fast.
Then you take your hook and join it into your first stitch, yarn over and pull through. Now you have this ring here. Then you chain 1 again, and now you're going to work the puff stitch. Yarn over, go through the ring, yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on hook.
Okay.
Yarn over, go through the ring again, pull through, 5 loops on hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 loops.
Okay, and you do 7 of those around the ring?
Yes, you want to have 7. Now you have a total of 7 puff stitches, and you're going to join that into your first chain 1 with a slip stitch. So you just push that through and bring the yarn all the way through.
Okay.
Now you have your first round.
Complete round.
Yes.
Now from there, are we going to change yarns?
Yes, you are. You're going to get your second color, which is the dark blue color, and this is going to be the main color of your hat.
Now we also need to not only change color, but we need to start increasing to start to
Yes.
shape the hat.
You're going to start doing that by working 2 puff stitches into the second stitch from the hook.
For these first 4 rows, you're just working 1 row in each color, just to
Yes.
establish that stripe.
Yeah. So I'm going to join the next color, chain 1. Then I'm going to work 2 single crochets into the next stitch, same way we did before.
To the second stitch from your hook, you're working 2 puff stitches,
stitches.
so that's an increase.
Yes.
And now on the next one, you're just going to work 1 puff stitch.
Yes. And then I'm going to repeat that pattern around.
Okay.
2 puff stitches and then 1.
So you're increasing on every other stitch in your, in your third row.
Yes.
So on our 4th row, you're going into the second stitch from your hook.
Yes.
2 puff stitches. So
Yes.
that's your first increase.
Yes, so you're going to work 2 puff stitches into the second stitch from the hook.
And
Okay.
then for the next 2 stitches, just 1
One
puff
puff
stitch
stitch.
into each.
Into the next 2 stitches. So that's
Okay.
1 puff stitch here and 1 puff stitch here. And now you're going to repeat that pattern all the way
So
around.
increasing on every 3rd stitch.
Yes.
And then when you get to the next row, you'll increase every 4th stitch. The next row will be every 5th stitch, and the next row every 6th stitch. So you just keep increasing at a decreasing rate. So once you get down to the 8th row, you'll be increasing on every 6th stitch, and then you'll start to work the body of the hat. Then you're going to want to start moving down the hat and shaping it just straight down. And the way that you do that is just by working straight puff stitch rows with no increases. And if we have a look at Afia's work here, that's where she's at. So here are the increase rows, and you can see that it's quite flat on top. And then to make it come down, you're just working straight puff stitch rows for 3 rows. Now you have a little trick that you like to do to keep the beanie shaped, and
Yes.
that's adding elastic.
Yes, because after you wear a hat for a little while, it's going to start losing its shape and it's not going to fit as well. So the elastic helps to keep it snug to your head.
So let's just have a look at this elastic. It's quite thin because you don't want something really thick that'll
Right.
show through your work. So what is it called?
It's called a round cord elastic or bead elastic. And I use this thick weaving needle, put the elastic through. Now you're going to weave in and out of each stitch as far as you can, and then pull the elastic through, and you're going to continue to do that all the way around.
You're at the end now. You're going to
Yes.
snip off.
Tie it into a little knot.
And then to secure that knot, you like to use glue.
Yes, some fabric glue. You want to get a washable fabric glue.
And that's going to prevent your knot from coming undone.
Yes, it does, it does.
And now to crochet over that elastic so that you don't see it, you have a particular stitch you like to use.
You go into your first stitch, you pull through, then you yarn over, and you go into the next stitch. And all the while you're going to be going underneath the elastic, and then you pull through. Go through the same stitch, yarn over and pull through. You'll have 2 loops on the hook. Then you're going to yarn over again and go into the next stitch. Yarn over and pull through.
So you're kind of covering 2 stitches at once.
Yes, you are. You're working in both stitches.
So you'll keep working in the round just like that.
Yes.
And if you have a look here, you can see that it totally covers the elastic. That is such a great technique.
Thank you.
How to finish your hat so it'll keep you twice as warm. And I'll share my tip for customizing your crochet hooks for extra comfort right after this.